Good evening, USA, Canada, worldwide, Long Island, aka Strong Island, plus the five spots of Brooklyn, Bronx, Manhattan, Staten Island, Queens. I'm your man, G Money Stacks, aka the Gregonator, misunderstood lonely nomad, and including the creator, YouTuber, host with the most, and rookie podcaster of Queens, New York, and of course the independent, um, unstoppable podcaster. And you're rocking with the Sports Edition show of excellent, fun, vibrant podcast. The 31st episode in the making. And sorry for the delay of the episode. I um had a little late dinner, so um you know how that goes, man. But anyway, man, um you can you can catch up on the episodes on the YouTube channel page, which is the same name as the show. Make sure you do that. And we're live and direct from StreamYard, YouTube, and alongside myself, which is the Instagram live feed. Make sure you turn on your notifications so you don't miss a damn beat. So, um, and you can feel free to tap that subscribe button and do the same with the noti bell, so you can be informed on when the show goes in the air via live stream and the time reminder. So, you leave a like and a comment alongside with the episodes. Please feel free to download these episodes, stream, listen, um, for episodes that you missed, and of course, I got you with the rest of the episodes. Um, I got you with the rest of the episodes at the end of the show. So here we go, right there. And a little mental checking real quick. Mentally, physically, and spiritually, I am well. Mentally, I have my days of feeling a little off, but I'm not going to get into too much of that due to time constraints. So, physically and spiritually, I am all right for the most part. So here we go. Let me just get started on the show right here. So we got some sports stuff to talk about here in the sports news talk show right here. So here we go. Starting with the Orlando Magic um, draft picks from the NBA, and shouts to a podcaster from Always Popular for watching. So um yes, so most recently, the Orlando Magic did a NBA draft pick. So here we go. This is according to sportingnews.com. And of course, I didn't forget, this is this quick side bleacher ball right here, man. So there you go, right there, man. So let's get into it right now. All right. Um. So the Magic are on the clock. One of the worst teams, one of the worst teams in the league. The Orlando Magic won just 22 games last season, but luck may be finally on their side. The Magic won the 2022 NBA Draft Lottery and were awarded the number one overall pick in the 2022 NBA Draft pick. Orlando can now add an impactful player who could potentially transform the franchise. We've seen what it can mean in the past. Magic CEO Alex Martin said at the lottery, "The past three times that we've won, it's ultimately led us to an NBA Finals in both of those eras. Hopefully, this is a piece that can get us back into contention. You have to take it one step at a time. So getting back into contention, getting back into the playoffs, and ultimately getting back to competing for a championship is our goal." Um, So, where do the Magic land in the draft order, you ask? Here's everything you need to know ahead of the 2022 NBA draft. So, Magic draft picks 2022. When does Orlando pick? The Magic will kick off the draft with the number one overall pick, with as many as three viable candidates: Jabari Smith Jr., Chet Holmgren, and Paulo Benchero can each make a legitimate claim as the draft's best player. The Magic certainly have a tough decision. Beyond the oft discussed top pick, the Magic also have an early second rounder. On Thursday, they traded their other second rounder, 35th overall, to the Lakers. Um, Magic draft needs true number one scoring option. Yes, the Magic have some promising pieces with Wendell Carter Jr., Carl, no, Cole Anthony, Jalen Suggs, Markel Fultz, and Franz Wagner that all bring valuable skill sets. But they do have a true future number one scoring option. Orlando's main goal with number one is finding a franchise star to elevate the collective unit. Wing stopper. Although both Suggs and Carter Jr. in particular have immense defensive promise, needed is the prototypical lengthy wing stopper needed to win in today's versatile league. With two picks among the first six selections in the second round, Orlando could have two shots to nab a difference maker that just slipped through the first round cracks. OKC's Lou Dort, undrafted, and New Orleans' Herb Jones, 35th overall, are recent examples of late steals. Shooting, if the Magic take Jabari Smith Jr. or Chet Holmgren with the first pick, they'll add an elite shooter. Truth be told, you can never have enough, especially in Orlando, where it ranked 28th in catch and shoot, 3-point percentage in 2021 through 22. Okay, Magic Mock Draft 2022. Here are the latest projections for the Magic, according to TSN's draft servant Kyle Irving. Um, Round one, number one, Jabari Smith Jr., um, F. Auburn. The Magic appear to be locked in on Smith with the number one pick, and for good reason. Smith will give Orlando the size, versatility, athleticism, and perimeter shooting it desperately needs. He can play alongside Wendell Carter Jr. to make a terrorizing defensive front court, and he fits nicely next to last year's standout rookie, Franz Wagner. Franz Wagner. Guards like Jalen Suggs and Cole Anthony will make life easier for Smith as a spot up shooter, and if he can develop um, his shot creation skills, he'll give the Magic a number one scoring option down the road. Yeah, okay. Um, all right, so that's pretty much all right. So we're gonna get into another. All right, so in other basketball news, J. Cole. All right, so yeah, 4 games. So according to theroot.com, it looks like J. Cole is keeping his day job. The 37-year-old hip hop star stepped away from the mic this spring to follow in the footsteps of rappers from previous generations, Master P, Anybody, by playing professional basketball. Unlike Percy Miller, who tried out with the Charlotte Hornets back in the day, Cole's hoop dream was fulfilled north of the border with the Scarborough Shooting Stars of the Canadian Elite Basketball League. Cole played 4 games with the team this season before announcing that he's done with basketball, at least for now, so he can get back to what he does best. I was just telling the guys in there I'm going for these shows. I'm not sure if I'll be back, but just in case, I had to let them know like how incredible this was. The players, the coaching staff, the organization, the league. Cole said in an interview posted to the Shooting Stars IG. Um, Cole tried to make the St. John's University basketball squad back in '04, but the team didn't make him his first year. His music career took off shortly thereafter, but the episode has become part of the team's lore, leaving an ongoing debate among coaches about whose decision it was to cut the now superstar. Damn. When he was on the court for the Shooting Stars, the 6'3" Cole played guard for the Shooting Stars. It wasn't the first time he went overseas to indulge his dream of playing professional basketball. Hang on a minute here. Hang on. Hold on a second. Lisa underscore Doyle 855. Hello. Thank you for joining the live stream of this sports podcast. All right. Last year he played 3 games for the Rwanda Patriots of the 12-team basketball Africa League, excuse me. But not every player there was thrilled with his brief presence. Cole is slated to start touring with 3 dates at the Bonnaroo Music and Arts Festival in Manchester, Tennessee this week. After that, it's off to a series of July dates in Great Britain and the Netherlands before the Lollapalooza Festival in Chicago at the end of the month of next month, according to Ticketmaster. Yeah, yeah, that's pretty cool, man. Let's go to Tim Hardaway. Give me 1 second. Mm-hmm. All right. Let me get to it. All right. So, all right. Okay. The Dallas Mavericks finished the 2021-2022 season with Tim Hardaway Jr. sidelined as he recovered from surgery to repair a foot fracture. He last appeared in a game on January 25th during the team's 130-92 loss to the Golden State Warriors. Hardaway Jr. played 42 games this season before undergoing surgery. He averaged 14.2 points, 3.7 rebounds, and 2.2 assists, but was unable to convert at his regular clip from deep. He shot just 33.6% from beyond the arc after shooting a combined 39.4% the 2 seasons prior. And he said, and I quote, excuse me, I'm just happy I can go into an offseason healthy for the most part, Hardaway said. It was gut wrenching to go out there sitting on the sideline each and every day and not be able to actually play and help the team go out there and compete on every single possession. Um, but I did the best I could for the most part with Theo and the bench mob, just trying to be that energy giver, not the energy drainer. Just trying to come in every single day, work my tail off, trying to get back. A lot has changed since Hardaway Jr. last was in the Mavericks lineup. The most notable difference is the acquisition of Spencer Dinwiddie. Excuse me, Dinwiddie in the trade that sent um, Chris Taps Porzingis to the Washington Wizards. With Luka Doncic, Jalen Brunson, and Dinwiddie in the fold, where does Hardaway Jr. fit? The Mavericks often deployed Bronson and Dinwiddie together in plug and play lineups throughout games. Hardaway Jr. could play at the three spot from a potential no, positional standpoint. He'd help enhance their floor spacing, whether in spot up or when his motion shooting and gravity are utilized in half court actions. I'm definitely excited to talk to the coaching staff, Jay Kidd, Nico, um, and really get an idea moving forward of what they see for myself. Hardaway said after the season ended, I'm pretty sure they know, and everybody else knows what I can do. Just moving forward, just trying to see what role I do actually play, and we'll go from there. There is always the possibility the Mavericks could shake up their roster in the offseason after retaining Brunson as planned. There has already been an expressed desire to add more rim protection and rebounding, which could potentially be acquired with Hardaway Jr.'s contract being included in the trade. Gaining a 6'5" shooter would surely help the Mavericks to have more depth to deploy effective small ball lineups when they need. Having more depth in the fold in case a key player goes down with injury wouldn't hurt either. The impact Hardaway Jr. provided against uh, the LA Clippers in the 2021 playoffs shouldn't be understated. Yeah, understated. When the opposition deployed small lineups, Doncic received helpful contributions from Hardaway Jr. with an average of 17.0 points per game while shooting 40.4% from deep. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Good luck with that one right there. Um, Now we go to the 10 best players who never, who never to never wait, hold on. 10 best players never to win the NBA championship, which is very rare, by the way. This is very rare, by the way, and I never even heard of this shit. But anyway, man, we're gonna get into this right now. All right, so from Charles Barkley, from Charles Barkley to Patrick Ewing, who are the 10 best players never to win the NBA championship. Damn. Damn, that sucks, man. Oh man. Being a player does not always mean that success and trophies will also follow, especially in the world of American sports where there can only be one winner every season. That's truth of the NFL, MLB, NHL, and in the NBA. When a host of top basketball stars have never managed to go on to win the NBA championship, with some, I'm sorry, with some not even making it to the championship final. Oh shit! Oh shit! It just shows you that while individuals can carry the teams to glory, it's still a team game, and one man by himself can't win it all. Here's our pick of the best players never to win the NBA championship. All right, so you got Vince Carter. Carter enjoyed a 22-year NBA career and played in 4 different decades, but he never got his hands on the NBA championship. Towards the end of his career, Carter opted to join the likes of the Sacramento Kings and Atlanta Hawks instead of signing. signing for a contender, in other words, ring chasing, to spend a lot of time on the bench, which is something he has been praised for. To win a championship, you must reach the finals, which Carter failed to do, losing in six with the Orlando Magic against the Boston Celtics in the 2010 Eastern Conference Finals, the closest he came to getting a ring. John Stockton. Stockton is one of the greatest point guards in the NBA history, an excellent defender, playmaker, and shooter. He left a terrific legacy, but will regret not winning a title in the 1990s while playing alongside Karl Malone for the Utah Jazz. He can thank Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls for that one. Without them, Utah would 100% have won a championship in the 90s. On on a positive note, Stockton has the most steals in NBA history. Let's see. You have nearly 600 more than Jason Kidd in second place. So it's 3,265. I'm not sure if it's like I don't know. Anyway, it will take some doing to break this record. Charles Barkley, 11-time All Star and one-time MVP. Barkley was terrifically unique power forward. In the 1992-93 season, he averaged 25.6 um, double PG, and guided the Phoenix Suns to a 62-20 record on his way to winning MVP as they lost to Jordan and the Bulls in the finals. This was his only trip to that stage of the postseason with the excuse me with the Houston Rockets reigning supreme in the Western Conference in 1994, 1995. Um, hang on a minute. Barkley tried to strike up a winning formula in Houston alongside two of the greatest to play the game, Hakeem Olajuwon and Clyde Drexler. The closest that team came to the finals was in 1997 when they lost to the Jazz 4-2 in the WCF. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That's gotta suck. Allen Iverson, 00/01 was Iverson's best season, being named as league MVP as he carried an average Philadelphia Sixers team to the finals, only to lose in 5 games to the Los Angeles Lakers. Oh wow, that's crazy, man. That's crazy, man. Oh shit. Um, Winning a single game against that star-studded Lakers team was an incredible achievement in itself. To be honest, Iverson averaged 35.6 double PG in the finals after dropping 48 points in the Game 1 victory. The 11-time All-Star is one of the most iconic and influential guards in NBA history, and despite having no rings, he will always remain an icon in the sporting world. Steve Nash. Nash was named in the All NBA First Team 3 times and won MVP twice, but failed to reach the finals, let alone win a championship. Has made the conference finals numerous times, but couldn't never get over that hurdle. Oh shit. This is I'm sorry for laughing, folks, but this is so fucking incredible. It's it's just fucking laughable, man. I'm not kidding. um, there. Oh shit! There was perhaps a bit of ring chasing towards the end of his career at the Nash joined the Lakers in 2012. But despite Sports Illustrated believing that his time in LA was going to be fun, it was not. Reggie Miller, a straight shooter, Miller lost in his sole NBA Finals experience in 2000 against the Lakers. Damn. Miller and the NBA Pacers proved to be a very difficult opponent for the Bulls in '98, but lost Game 7 of the ECF by 5 points. Um, he spent his whole 18-year career in Indiana and could have won a ring in 2004 or 2005, but the Pacers were just short of the Detroit Pistons, and the malice at the Palace didn't help either. The Pacers have not won an NBA title as a franchise. Oh shit. Oh my gosh. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. Damn, son. Remarkably, hold on a second. Yeah. Um the Pacers have not won an NBA title as a franchise. Elgin Baylor is regarded as one of the greatest players in NBA history after averaging 27.4 double PG and 13.5 rebounds per game in his career. Remarkably, Baylor failed to win a single finals series despite making it to that stage 7 times in his career. Oh gosh. Really though? He won 16 games out of 44, averaging 26.4 double PG in the finals, and holds the NBA record for most points, 61 in the NBA Finals match. Pete Maravich, Pistol Pete. Oh man, you already got a celebrity who's Pistol Pete, and now you got a basketball player named Pistol Pete too. Oh man, that's funny, man. Oh man, Pistol Pete, Pistol Pete was ahead of his time as arguably the best shooter in the league during his playing days. The 3-point line was introduced in 1979, 1 year before Maravich's retirement. In his 10-year career, Maravich reached the playoffs 4 times and only made it past the first round once, losing in the 76ers in the EFC. Oh man, EFC. Okay, I'm a. Let me just look this up, man. For those of you who may not know what ECF is, I'm going to actually, you know, um, let me just look this up right now, so you guys can get an idea. Um, if you guys can get no, it's ECF. Okay, ECF. What does ECF stand for? Okay. So for those of you who may not know what is it, ECF, whatever that is, if I'm not mistaken, hold on. If I'm not mistaken, yeah, it's ECF. I'm like, what the hell? No, ECF is what I was looking for. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's ECF. So, what the hell? Wait a minute, man. So what does ECF stand for in basketball? I guess. Um. Oh, Eastern Conference Finals. That's what that is. Okay. Okay, got it. Got it. All right. Yeah, Wilds in Boston. Okay, ECF Wilds in Boston. He retired prematurely due to knee troubles and averaged 24.2 double PG over the course of 658 games. Patrick Ewing. Ewing was a terrific center who was an offensive and defensive juggernaut, averaging 21 um, double PG, 9.8 RPG, and 2.4 blocks per game in his career. All right, let me just look up these acronyms real quick, man, so y'all can get an idea on on what these acronyms is about. So, what does PPG stand for? Okay, hold on. Okay, so points per game. Okay. All right. So another acronym that I just saw. RPG. Here we go. All right, RPG. All right. What is so rocket propelled grenade? What? No, in basketball, man. That's what I'm trying to look up. That's what I'm trying to look for. I'm sorry. So rebounds per game is what it stands for. Okay. And then APG, assists per game, blocks per game, turnovers per game TO. Um all right, there we go. Now y'all have an idea what these acronyms are all about. So, um yeah, so yes, the New York Knicks legend made the finals once in his career, losing in 7 games to uh, Olajuwon's Rockets in '94. I'll be pissed if I lost the damn game, man. Especially if I'm on a team. Especially if I'm on a damn team, that's like that's like not really it's not really on their P's and Q's and shit and losing every game. I'll be pissed as hell, man. You know what I mean? And they lost in game 7 after guard John Starks shot 2 to 18 from the field, missing all 11 of his 3-point attempts. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry. That's ridiculous right there, man. You're a basketball player. How you miss? You're a basketball player, right? How the hell do you miss all 11 shots in a 3-point attempt? Oh man, that's ridiculous, man. Oh right. Dominique Wilkins. Wilkins is another name on this list to never reach the final. Oh shit. Damn. Actually, Wilkins never made it past the conference semifinals, making him arguably the best player to never play in the conference finals. A 9-time All Star, Wilkins averaged close to 25 um, double P double PG and was
an electrifying player who entertained fans with his stupendous dunking ability. The Hall of Famer played for the Los Angeles Clippers, Celtics, San Antonio Spurs, and Orlando Magic after a 12-year stint with the Hawks. Ain't that some shit? That is some shit, man. Yo, that is some crazy shit, man. Like, really though, like I don't know. All I can tell you, all I can say is this is just beyond crazy. Um, this is just crazy to me, man. And you know, hold on a minute here. Hold on a second here. Yeah, let's get to what went down recently. Um, let's get to what recently went down recently. So Keith Hernandez entered the field to an 80-second standing ovation Saturday and departed to handshakes and backslaps from players on the current Mets roster. In between, the former first baseman managed to maintain his composure as he reflected on a storied Mets career that culminated Saturday with his number 17 retired by the club. Hernandez joined Casey Stengel, Gil Hodges, Seaver, Mike Piazza, and Jerry Kuzman as the only Mets to have the honor bestowed upon them. And he said, I am absolutely humble and proud my number will be up in the rafters for eternity. Hernandez was joined on the field by his family, including his three daughters and brother Gary. Um, The Mets delegation included Piazza, team owner Steve Cohen, manager Buck Showalter, and Hernandez's former teammates Mookie Wilson, Tim Toffel, and Ed Lynch. What? His last name is Lynch? Damn. Lynch. Oh, shit. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for laughing, folks, man, but you rarely hear a person who has a last name Lynch. I'm sorry, but that's a scary ass word. That's a scary ass word, man. To have as a last name, but you know, you know the jizz of this shit, man. But um, yeah, Ron Darling was present in dual capacity as a former teammate and current SNY broadcast partner. SNY voice Gary Cohen was also on the field for the ceremony, which was emceed by Mets radio voice Howie Rose. Hernandez thanked Steve Cohen for flying in Hernandez's family, entire family, for the event. Hernandez reflected on his June 15th, 1983 trade from the defending World Series champion Cardinals to the rebuilding Mets. And he said, in quote, I have learned and read that it was a joyous day in Mets Nation, Hernandez said. Little old me in St. Louis wasn't very happy. What did I know? A life and career changing event. Steve Cohen and Showalter presented Hernandez with a mosaic portrait of himself that was made with over 6,000 Keith Hernandez baseball and Strat-O-Matic cards. Hernandez's number 17 remained ingrained in the center field grass. Hernandez standing on first base through the ceremonial first pitch to his brother Gary. Um, Hernandez was a centerpiece of the Mets' last World Series winning team in 1986. Of his record 11 gold gloves at first base, six of them came with the Mets. He became the first captain in team history in 1987. Yes, 1987, right? Yes. Um, to me, the real turnaround was 84, Hernandez said. We won 90 games. Everybody had picked us for last, and I certainly wasn't going in with those kinds of expectations. I really felt that was my greatest year as a Met, my most clutch year. Daryl Strawberry Blossom, Doc Gooden, of course, had the great rookie year. If the Cubs hadn't traded for Rick Sutcliffe, who won the Cy Young Award, I think we would have won the division. Yeah, of course. Let me see. Let me just of course, Miami Marlins manager Don Mattingly embraces Keith Hernandez, and of course, Keith Hernandez receives a gift from Mets owner Steve Cohen and New York Mets manager Buck Showalter during his number retirement ceremony, and of course, Keith Hernandez got emotional in Saturday's press conference prior to his jersey being retired. The Mets traded for All Star catcher Gary Carter before the 1985 season, adding a significant bat to the lineup. We got Carter in 85, and that was the final piece, Hernandez said. I felt that when we got Carter, I felt that when we got him in the off seasons, I said, now we have a chance. We have got a really good chance to have a dominant team, and it certainly turned out that way. The Mets rolled to the 1986 NL East, which stands for National League. For those of you who may not know what that acronym stands for, it's National League. So National League East title, and won an epic series against the Astros and Red Sox in the NLCS and World Series, respectively. NLCS. Let me see. Let me just look this up real quick. Um. All right. So, what does NLCS in baseball stand for? National League Championship Series. There you go. There you go. Yes, there you go. The current Mets lineup up to greet Keith Hernandez after his number retirement ceremony. It was probably one of the most fun years of my life, Hernandez said. Um, of course, of course, when you win 108 games, that is a lot of fun coming to the ballpark. Near the end of his speech, Hernandez praised the 2022 Mets, who began the day with the National League's second um, best record. They hustle, they play hard, and comport themselves like professionals, Hernandez said. It is a treat. Okay, let's make some noise for Keith Hernandez and congratulations on his success and everything that he does, and as a Mets broadcaster with Gary Cohen and Ron Darling. All right, up next, we need to talk about the MLB All Star rosters. Um, okay, it's time to find out who the starters in the 2022 MLB All Star game will be. Voting concluded Friday afternoon on the finalists at each position in the league. Several players were running away with the voting, like Alejandro Kirk and Paul Goldschmidt, while others were in for a tight battle to the finish, like Manny Machado and Nolan Arenado. Heading into Friday night, there are four players that have been announced as the top vote getters in their respective leagues. Yankees outfielder Aaron Judge and Braves outfielder Ronald Acuna Jr. were named as starters. As legacy picks, Tigers designated hitter Miguel Cabrera and Cardinals designated hitter Albert Pujols were named to the rosters. This will not be the end of the All Star names that come out. And of course, on Sunday, MLB will unveil the remainder of the roster. But Friday is when the official starters at each position will be announced. Um, and I'll get to that in a sec. Actually, I'll get to that in a sec. So let's see. Hold on. So you got okay. So American League, you got Alejandro Kirk from the Blue Jays. First baseman Vladimir Guerrero Jr. from the Blue Jays. Second base Jose Altuve from the Astros. Third base Rafael Devers, Red Sox. Shortstop Tim Anderson, White Sox. Outfield Aaron Judge, Yankees. Um, Outfield Mike Trout, Angels. Outfield John Carlos Stanton, Yankees. Designated hitter Shohei Otani, Angels. So you got the catcher Wilson Contreras, the Cubs. First base Paul Goldschmidt, Cardinals. Second base Jazz Chisholm, Marlins. You have third base Manny Machado, Padres. Shortstop Trey Turner, Dodgers. Outfield Ronald Acuna Jr., the Braves. Outfield Mookie Betts, Dodgers. Outfield Jock Peterson, Giants. Designated hitter Bryce Harper. And how you can watch the hold on a second. How to watch the yeah. Um ESPN will carry the selection show at 7 Eastern, which I think already happened already. But for those hoping to see their favorite players named as starters on the All Star teams, viewers can tune into ESPN Plus or watch it on Fubo TV, which offers a free trial. Well, let's see, man. Yeah. Yeah, and there's more actually. There's more actually. So let's see. There's actually more to this actually. Hold on. There's actually. Let me see. I actually saw something actually. The hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. Okay, players? Which Mets players are going to the All Star game in LA? Let's see. So let's see. We're gonna get to all right, so we have okay, so most recently so so the all right, the Met players that's going to the MLB All Stars is obviously Pete Alonso. Of course, there's Jeff McNeil, Edwin Diaz, and Starling Marte named MLB All Stars. So the first place Mets have landed 4 players on the National League All Star team. They're most representatives since they also sent that many players in 2016. MLB RBI leader Pete Alonso, closer Edwin Diaz, second baseman Jeff McNeil, and outfielder Starling Marte were named Sunday as reserves to the NL squad for the July 19th All Star game at Dodger Stadium, with the possibility one or two others could be added later as injury replacements. It means a lot. It's something that I really take pride in, Alonso said after the Mets 2-0 loss to the Marlins. I'm really happy that I was able to play my way into the game. Hard work pays off, and I'm really happy to get to represent my team and the city of New York in LA. Alonso, the two-time defending champion in the home run derby, still hasn't confirmed whether he plans to participate again in the event the night before the Midsummer Classic. I never said I was going to do the derby yet, but I'm excited for the All-Star game. I'm really stoked, Alonso said. We have one of the best records in baseball, and our team is super talented, so we should have that many guys. McNeil, who didn't accompany the Mets to Atlanta to start his paternity leave for the birth of his child, began the day ranked third in the league in batting average. Now, 311 with 4 homers and 35 RBIs. Runs batted in is what it stands for. He previously was named an All-Star in 2019 when he finished with a 318 batting average and a 916 OPS, but McNeil slumped to a slash line of 251 slash 319, 360, 679 OPS in an injury plague in 2021 campaign. All right, so yeah, hold on a second. So OPS. Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. OPS. Okay, what is OPS? So OPS stands for um on base plus slugging. That's what that is. Okay. All right. Okay. Where was I? All right, right. Last year was a tough year for me, so just being able to go out and work hard in the off season and to kind of have a bounce back season and to be recognized for that is pretty special to me, said McNeil, who hails from Napalmo, California. It gives me a lot of confidence. It shows that I can be one of the best players in the big leagues and take that going forward and prepare every single day and doing well. Well, that's what happens when you dream big, folks. You work hard, you gain success, especially in sports like baseball, most popular sport ever. Um, it does give me a lot of confidence that I can play with the best. This is going to be a pretty special week and a half. We're having our first child in the next few days, and the baby's first game might be the All-Star game at the stadium I always went to growing up. Marte, who sat out Sunday's game with a groin issue, also has posted a consistent first season with the Mets, batting 292 with 9 homers and 40 RBIs for his second career All-Star nod. Also in 2016 with the Pirates. Yeah. It was an emotional moment, something me and my family had been speaking of for a couple of days, Marte said through a translator. I immediately changed my plans for the break. Diaz also was named an All-Star for the second time in his career, but his first in 4 seasons with the Mets following a 2018 trade from Seattle. He posted a 5.59 ERA with 7 blown saves for the Mets in 2019, but he's recorded 18 saves with a 1.78 ERA and 70 strikeouts and 35 and 1/3 innings in 36 appearances this season. It means a lot because my Mets career didn't start the way I wanted, but I've been able to get back on track, and this year I made the All-Star team. I'm really happy, Diaz said. I think with this team, when I get into the game and get the big outs, I prove to them that's the guy the Mets traded for. I hope to face the three best hitters in the American League. Maybe I can face Aaron Judge. Who else made it? Um, um, Jordan Alvarez and Shohei Otani. That would be awesome. And let me see. Let me look up the time the All Star break is going to start. So let's look this up. What time does the All Star break start on July 19th? Hang on a minute. Let's see. Okay. So what time does it start? All right, hold on. So okay, you can let me see. Of course, where you can watch it. Hold on a minute. Of course, you can watch. I just want to find out what I'm trying to figure out what time it starts. Though, hold on a second. Um, Let me see what time it starts. Though, give me 1 second, folks. So, All Star Saturday. So it's gonna be. Wait a second. No, but I know it's supposed to be on Fox, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm not mistaken, I just want to find out something. So, um, okay. So, hold on a minute. Hold on a minute here. Um, okay, Tuesday, July 2022. It is going to be airing on July 19, 2022. It's going to be on Fox 5 beginning at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. And for those of you that's watching in outside outside of New York, you can check your local listings there as well. Um so there you go right there. And that's for the home run derby. Um if I'm not mistaken, the home run derby. Hold on, let's look this up. Home run derby 2022. If I'm not mistaken, um, home run derby is. All right, let's look at the home run derby participants for a sec. Okay, so what we have here is the 2022 T-Mobile Home Run Derby will take place inside Dodger Stadium on Monday at 8 Eastern. So who will be swinging for the fences in Los Angeles? The 8-player field is taking shape, and this article will be updated when each new entry becomes known. Here's a list of the sluggers who have been confirmed for the Derby. Obviously, Pete Alonso of the New York Mets, the Polar Bear, has won the past two Derby titles, making him just the third player ever to go back to back. Now he will have his sights set on a third Derby win, which would match Ken Griffey Jr. for the most by any player. Alonso has bashed 131 homers in his two Derby appearances and set a single round record in 2021 when he went deep 35 times in his first round matchup against Salvador Perez. Ronald Acuna Jr., Atlanta Braves. Acuna is making his second trip to the Derby. He was ousted by Alonso in the second round in 2019. The Brave star will still make a strong impression, utilizing the entire field to crack 44 homers. 10 of his home runs traveled at least 450 feet, and he topped out at 469. He leads the majors in average home run distance this year and is clearly comfortable on the Derby stage as he has shown he can multitask while hitting massive dingers. Albert Pujols, the Cardinals. At the 7-year hiatus, the 42-year-old Pujols will return to the home run derby stage in his final major league season. It's Pujols' fifth appearance, which puts him on an elite list of only six others who have competed in the event at least that many times. Of course, Ken Griffey Jr., Mark McGwire, Sammy Sosa, Prince Fielder, Barry Bonds, and David Ortiz, aka Big Poppy. With 684 home runs to his name, the fifth most all time, Pujols may just take the young sluggers to school in Los Angeles. Juan Soto, Nationals. Soto makes his second straight Derby appearance after putting on a show in his debut last year, though he entered an underdog as the number 8 seed in 2021. Soto unseated number 1 seed Shohei Ohtani in an epic battle that took a swing off to the side. The National slugger is sure to once again flash his prodigious power, though whether or not he will top his record, setting 520 foot shot from the Colorado, event last year remains to be seen. Um, Kyle Schwarber, Phillies. Schwarber, who entered Tuesday's leading the National League with 28 home runs, will be making his second Derby appearance. He memorably made it to the finals of the 2018 event while with the Cubs, clubbing 55 homers on the night while beating the Astros. Alex Bregman and future Phillies teammate Reese Hoskins before falling to another future teammate, Bryce Hopper, at Nationals Park. Julio Rodriguez, Mariners. Rodriguez has been ready for the Derbies ever since he hit his first home run in the majors. A 450-foot clout off Marlins ace Sandy Alcantara um, on May 1st. The AL Rookie of the Month for June. Rodriguez is the first rookie to take part in the Derby since Alonso and Vladimir Guerrero Jr. participated in and reached the finals in 2019. Alonso and Aaron Judge are the only rookies to win the competition outright, while Wally Joyner was a rookie co-champ with Darryl Strawberry in 1986. As the 14th rookie in history to participate in the event, J-Rod's electric personality and thunderous bat are perfect for this showcase event. Of course, okay, where you can watch it, hold on a second. You can watch it on if I'm not mistaken, let me just find out here. me find on here on ESPN. Hold on a second. So, so the home run derby will be um will be featured on Monday, July 18th at 8 p.m. on ESPN. Um, as part of a significant week of MLB coverage around MLB All Star 2022 from Los Angeles, which is going to be July 19th on Fox 5 at 7:30. Of course, for those of you who are watching in New York and the tri-state area, it's the same time um, uh, as it's the same time as for us. So, and for those that's not in New York, you can check your local listings for the Home Run Derby and the All Star game for July 19th. So, once again, Home Run Derby, ESPN at 8 o'clock on ESPN, and the MLB All Star game starts July 19th on Fox 5 at 7:30. And yeah, this should be exciting. I'm actually thinking about watching both of these actually, which is going to be interesting because I need something to talk about for this sports podcast right here. So this should be exciting. I'm gonna make some noise. I'm gonna make some noise for the Mets players who are included in the MLB All Star Game 2022 for July 19th on Tuesday. So here it is. Yes, in other Mets news, we gotta talk trade rumors in the air. We got a trade rumor in the air right here, man, that we need to discuss right here. Um, yeah, we got some trade rumors in the air we need to talk about here. So Tuesday night's one zip loss to the Cincinnati Reds further exacerbated the New York Mets' need for a power bat to bolster a lineup that has seen production dry up as of late. So it's the dangerous game to play when focused on slow, methodical rallies that rely so heavily on timely two-out hitting. In their previous 8 games entering Wednesday night's series finale against the Reds, the Mets have averaged just 2.5 runs per game while going um, 3-5. Through that stretch, the Mets have had a black hole in terms of production at the designated hitter and catcher spots. Issues that we opined last week could be filled by the organization's top prospect in Francisco Alvarez, who made his AAA debut earlier this week. General Manager Billy Epler will have to get more proven depth at one, if not both areas, if of need. Though, if he wants to see his Mets fulfill preseason expectations and make a strong October push. It makes the Mets logical big fish to watch for leading up to Major League Baseball's August 2nd trade deadline, which is approaching, where a number of options will be available to at least inquire about. Here are some of the top options that could be considered. Of course, with talks continuing to swirl around an exit for Dom Smith pursuing Bell, or another first baseman makes an abundance of sense as a primary DH option that could back up Pete Alonso when he needs to rest from defensive duties. Bell is often overlooked and in the conversation of top tier first baseman in the National League, given the seasons that Alonso and Paul Goldschmidt are having. But he's been superb, batting 315 with a 906 OPS, 12 home runs, and 47 RBIs. The big question is whether the Mets would have to pay more if they even get the chance to acquire an all-star from a divisional rival. That's a good question. Trey Mancini, Baltimore Orioles. Mancini's name has been included in MLB trade rumors since the spring as the low budget Orioles continue to purge important pieces of their organization, and the Mets are reportedly researching the possibilities of reuniting him back with Buck Showalter. Um, yeah. Let me see. Yeah, Buck Showalter. There is okay. The 30-year-old's game continues to ease back near an all-star form experience in 2019 before missing the entire 2020 campaign due to a battle with colon cancer. Batting 281 with a 785 OPS, 8 home runs, and 32 RBI in 73 games. Hold on a minute. What we got here in the building, we got pick six with hold on a minute. Hold on, man. Pick six with Noah and Nick. Thank you for joining the podcast live stream for sports. All right, so anyway, if anybody's in the Instagram live feed, man, and you want to share your thoughts, go ahead and jump into the comment sections on the gram, and do the same with YouTube right there, man. You know what I mean? Don't be shy, man. You know what I mean? So let's continue. Um, yes. Where is I? Yes. Massini not only can DH or back up Alonso at first, but he provides outfield depth too for starring Marte and Mark Canna. That's an interesting pick actually. But we'll see what happens though. And of course, you have Wilson Contreras. Contreras is undoubtedly the best catcher in the National League right now, and the Cubs' most valuable trade piece as they flounder in the National League Central. With an 890 OPS and 13 home runs, his production is miles better than what the Mets are currently getting out of James McCann and Tomas Nido. Such such an acquisition could be the truest form of a rental, though, as Alvarez continues to loom as the Mets starting catcher of the future for years to come. There also would be some concern about introducing a brand new catcher to the team's pitching staff for the stretch run, even if that rotation just got Max Scherzer back with Jacob DeGrom not too far behind. CJ Cron, Colorado Rockies, the 32-year-old first baseman is on pace to have a career year with the lowly Rockies, slashing 297, 347, 552, 899 OPS with 20 home runs and 65 RBI through 81 games. But the fact that he's under contract through the 2023 season will either make his asking price significantly higher or could deter the Rockies from putting him on the market altogether at the deadline. There also is a concern of the offensive aggression that comes from a player leaving the hitter-friendly Coors Field, especially when they could potentially head to a pitcher-friendly park like Citi Field. Yeah. So remains to be seen if I hear any updates in regards to that. Of course, in regards to the August 2nd trade deadline, we'll see. We'll see what happens, though, man. We will see what happens. We'll see what happens, though. And of course, another trade deadline another rumor trade in the air Of course, the New York Mets are fully living up to expectations so far, leading the National League East with a 50-30 record. Actually, they are 54. They won 54 games so far, man. I just watched the game earlier with the Braves. So, yeah, they have a top five offense in baseball, but there there is still a need for another bat, especially from a power standpoint. The Mets are 21st in the majors with just 92 homers, and outside of Pete Alonso's 22 long balls, there is a lack of pop in this lineup. On the mound, they are essentially set. Max Scherzer is trending towards a return, and so is Jacob DeGrom. Actually, Max Scherzer already returned. He actually yeah he I actually saw him play actually recently. So it's pretty good that he's back though. So there you go. The Mets need to focus on bringing in another guy or two who can swing it with authority ahead of the 2022 MLB trade deadline. So, of course, the three top targets for the Mets at 2022 MLB trade deadline. Um, Andrew Andrew Benintendi. Hold on, Andrew Benintendi. It's already known the Kansas City Royals are willing to trade Andrew Benintendi. They are essentially in a rebuild, and he's in the midst of a resurgent campaign after a couple of down years. The Mets could not only use another left-handed hitting outfield, but a guy like um, Benintendi, who is hitting 314 this season in 77 games. Although he's only slotted 3 homers, Benintendi is still a type of player come that can come into New York and hit for average. Plus, he's hit for power in the past, even going deep 17 times last season. Mark Canna currently starts in left field, but Benintendi could come in and give him competition and potentially even steal the first string spot if he's productive enough offensively, or he can even become their DH. The Mets would have to give up a whole of prospects in return for Benintendi, but given the way he's playing, it may be well worth it. Of course, there's Josh Bell, JD Davis, and Dom Smith aren't producing at DH. Josh Bell seems like the perfect candidate to step in and focus strictly on his offense for the Mets. The Nationals are in shambles, and they've already cleaned house over the last 12 months. Bell and Juan Soto are their two best players, and it feels like only a matter of time until they are moved. For New York, Bell fits the bill perfectly for their one weakness power. In 2022, the 29-year-old is heading 318 with 12 home runs and 47 RBIs in 87 no excuse me 81 games. Yes, 81 games, right? Played. He's frankly too valuable to be just playing for a Nats team going nowhere. Bell has also improved with his plate selection immensely and is striking out at a much lower rate. Washington will also be looking for a ton of prospects in return here, but Bell is an all-star caliber player who fits perfectly in the middle of this lineup and gives the Mets another legitimate threat alongside Alonso, who can go deep on a regular basis. Plus, he's a switch hitter. Um, this is a move New York has to try and make. Wilson Contreras. Another major weakness for the Mets is the atrocious offensive production from the air catchers, Tomas Nido and James McCann. Both guys are hitting right around 200 combined, and it's clear the team needs to an upgrade behind the dish in terms of actually getting a player who can get it done on both sides of the ball. And to Wilson Contreras, one of the best backup backstops in the game and surface trade no excuse me surefire trade target in August. His contract will expire this offseason, and the Cubs have already made it clear they are willing to move him at the trade deadline. While this is a possibility, it may be tough. A catcher coming to a new team midway through the season is daunting because he needs to learn a brand new pitching staff. The Mets also have a top catching prospect in Francisco Alvarez who could get called up at some point in 2022. Nonetheless, Contreras' numbers speak for themselves. He's slashing 274 with 13 homers and 35 RBI, and has an um, OBP of 392. All right, so let's look up what this, what is this? OBP. Let's look this up. All right, let's look this up, man. OBP. Okay, what does OBP stand for in baseball? Okay, on base percentage. All right, there you go. There you go, right there. Let's see. No. No. Hold on. Yes, here we go. It's no secret his value is being wasted in Chicago because they are clearly in a rebuild. Putting him on a Mets team who is a legitimate contender once Scherzer and DeGrom are back could be worth it. Again, a boatload of prospects would be the ask from the Cubs, but we're talking about a World Series winning catcher who has that October experience. It's worth a conversation. Well, it is worth a conversation. Well, it is worth a conversation, but I can't really say that that's gonna really happen with all these people with all these random players and stuff. But the Mets, um, I had watched I don't know what game I watched, but I was actually impressed with Francisco Alvarez when he hit that home run. Yo, you can't let a player like Francisco Alvarez to slip away for some other prospects or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like like for me, because Buck Showalter said in a recent interview, if I'm not mistaken, that he's not really worried about the trade rumors and the trade deadlines and all that other stuff. He's more worried about what's concentrating on what's going on right now. He's not worried about the trade rumors and stuff. So you know what I'm saying. So he's basically saying he's sticking to the guys um that he has right now. So you know what I'm saying. Like yeah. So that's pretty much what this is, man. Um. So yeah. What else? What else can we talk about here? I think I covered everything, man. I think I covered everything, right? Yeah, I think I covered everything. Hold on. Yeah, I think I covered everything, man. Listen, look, I think that's gonna do it for episode 31, titled "Big Dream Big." Yes, Dream Big is the name of the episode 31. All right. Now listen, you like what you heard? Hold on. You can make a charitable donation to my Cash App so you can put whatever amount of money you decide to donate will be appreciated. So it doesn't matter if it's a lot of money or not. It doesn't matter. So
it'll be appreciated. So there you go, right there. I'm pretty sure everybody actually enjoyed this episode right here. So uh, I am going to go to this thing right here called Stream Choices on the Go. Here we go. You can show some love by following the sports show right here. Of course, excellent, fun, vibrant podcast is on Instagram, and of course, right here, you can also follow my other show, which is Meticulous Vibe Juice Podcast. And of course, Off the Meat Rat Change New York podcast will be back tomorrow. It'll be back tomorrow. Just had to take a little breather, and yeah, yeah. So, Off the Meat Rat Change New York podcast is on Facebook and Instagram, I believe. Yes, Facebook and Instagram. And you can also follow me on the gram too, which is G Money Stacks 555 in Queens, New York. Make sure you turn on your notifications for updates and when the episodes are going to be dropping, and especially on Instagram Live, where I'm recording right now. It's going to be posted as well, so you get to see more of me rather than me using short reel videos and stuff, because I feel like short reel videos and trailers and stuff doesn't really tell you the whole story about the topics that I'm going to be talking about. So you know what I'm saying? I just rather be authentic, man. I'd rather be authentic to the type of content that I'm actually creating, especially with this sports podcast right here. So you know what I'm saying? So yeah, so yeah, there you have it right there, man. I just wanted to actually, put that out there, so you know, so you guys can get a better understanding right here. So there you go, right there. And as for where you can listen to the podcast episodes, actually, so of course you can go to the link in bio where it says Linktree/excellent fun vibrant podcast. When you click on there, you're gonna see the podcast show page on Anchor.fm. You can leave a voice message on some ideas and some sports stories on whatever you want me to talk about or whatever. And of course, if you have any questions and you have any if you want to be a guest on the sports podcast and you want to talk all things sports, of course you can actually you can DM me at G Money Stacks 555 in Queens, New York. Another option is you can also email the show at excellent fun vibrant podcast at gmail.com. So there you go, right there. And yes, and speaking of Anchor, that's where we're gonna start right now. Anchor, Audible, Audacity, Amazon Music, Breaker, Castbox FM, Deezer, Listen Notes, Moon FM Podcast, Player FM, Pocket Cast, Podfriend, Podorama, Podopolo, Podcast Index, Podcast Addict, Podchaser, Podverse, Reason FM, Spotify, Stitcher, TuneIn Radios, Google Podcast, and of course, you can give a 5-star rating on Podchaser, Podfriend, and Spotify. That'll be appreciated right there. And you can also listen to Excellent Fun Vibrant Podcast Sports Edition show, which is on Radio Public, and the show is also on iHeartRadio, the number one app for music, radio, and podcast. Make sure you follow my other shows that's also on iHeartRadio, which is Meticulous Vibe Juice Podcast Review Show, which is also on there, and Off the Meat Rack Chains New York Podcast is also on iHeartRadio as well, which will be back tomorrow. Tomorrow at 9 o'clock. All right. Yeah, tomorrow at night. Actually, I'm gonna record it a little early. I'm gonna record the New York podcast a little early, so most likely I'm gonna record that a little early because the Mets are going to be playing against the Chicago Cubs, so I am going to actually try to record a little early. So and that way I'll figure out about the recording from the Takeless Vibe Juice podcast, episode 72 on there. So um I'm gonna figure things out right there, man. And of course, lastly but not least, YouTube. Make sure you grab that subscribe button and tap that noti bell so you can be reminded of when the show is going to be on the air via live stream and the time is going to start. And make sure you catch up on all the episodes on the Excellent Fun Vibrant Podcast Sports Edition Show YouTube channel page. Leave a like in the comments. Stay tuned for more video content, upcoming episodes, and previous latest episodes that's also on the channel page. Make sure you catch up on all of them. Episode 31 will be posted on every streaming platform tomorrow. Every Thursday, the sports podcast will be posted on streaming platforms on Thursday. All right? And make sure you download these episodes. Make sure you listen. Make sure you stream. Make sure you share the videos, share the episodes, tell a friend to another friend, and of course, you can share the podcast with your wives, your husbands, your boyfriends, girlfriends, friends, and of course, the people that you're working with that you are cool with, though. You know what I'm saying? Um, so yeah, and like I always say at the end of each show episode right here, man, hard work pays off, man. The grind does not stop. And on top of that, do something that makes you happy mentally, physically, and spiritually, all right? And also what I want to say to the new podcasters out there who are interested in making a podcast. I didn't get a chance to do podcast free game mechanisms due to time constraints. So I'll do that next time, man. Probably in the next episode, and probably I'll do that on the New York podcast and my review show, Meticulous Vibe Juice podcast. So we'll see what happens. Um, so when it comes to podcasting, you not only have to find your voice, you also have to have confidence in how you sound, and also you also have to you also got to figure out how to not only find your voice, but to also be able to get into your zone. Also figure out what clicks to you because that's important. And it's also important to be yourself behind the microphone. And by the way, um, you don't necessarily have to have a fancy studio to record your podcast episodes and stuff. You can also have like your laptop, your headphones, and alongside with a microphone. That's basically all you need. All right, that's basically all you need. Because you want to save money, you know what I'm saying? You really want to save money. You don't necessarily, it's not mandatory to be at a recording studio with producers and engineers. It's not really mandatory. It may work for some people, but it may not work for me or anybody else right now. So, you know what I'm saying? So that's just my take on it though, man. And and like I said before, man, um, you have to be confident in what you're doing, find your voice, and of course get into your zone and what clicks to you, and you just stick with it. That's all I have for you folks right here, man. Listen, I'm G Money Stacks. Thank you very much for listening and tuning in and rocking with me in the 31st episode of the sports podcast right here, Excellent Fun Vibrant Podcast, the Sports Edition show. I truly appreciate every single one of you for listening and, of course, catching up on all the episodes whatsoever. Um, and and of course, remember, man, don't let anybody stop you from following your goals and dreams. And you just have to find a way to get into your zone. That is a life lesson that I learned from an All American homecoming episode, and I will never forget this, man. And it really clicks to me because I'm trying to get into my rhythm, trying to get my rhythm back into my podcasting schedule. So there you go, right there. So that's it for me, man. Hope you enjoy. The episode gonna be out tomorrow. I'm out of here. I'm off this shit. Thank you so much for listening and tuning in and rocking with me. Peace and one love, and have yourselves a good night. And also enjoy the home run derby, and of course, enjoy the MLB All Star game 2022, which will be on Fox 5 at 7:30. And the Home Run Derby is going to be on ESPN. Check your local listings for the time. You know what I mean? Good night, folks.